Hip-hop pioneer Mia X, also known as the mother of Southern hip-hop, is officially a member of the Rice University Hip-Hop Archives.
Yeah, she was inducted last night, and she is the first woman to receive the honor. But before that honor, she sat down with our Ugochi Iloka for an exclusive interview.
Well, when I got the call, I was shocked because they told me that I would be the first woman that would be inducted. And I just took it all in for a moment and just thought about how grateful I am to see a genre of music that I fell in love with in 1979 and to see us come this far. You know, I've taught hip hop at Loyola, and so just seeing everything come full circle, and then they said, like, we're gonna induct you, and I'm like, me? Are you serious?
Yeah, she's making waves in that industry. Mia X went on to talk about how this honor is huge for hip-hop in general. We'll have the full interview with Mia X available on our streaming platform, KHOU 11+.
Hi, I'm Ugochi Iloka. You are watching KHOU 11+, and we are here with the mother of Southern hip-hop, Mia X. Welcome. We are so excited to have you all the way from New Orleans.
Yeah, baby.
Thank you for coming to your second home, Houston, right?
That's right.
She's here a lot. But we're here to talk about something very monumental because you're going to be inducted to a special Hall of Fame, essentially, at Rice University. Big deal. There's going to be a whole ceremony tonight. Can you talk to us a little bit about that and how excited you are about it, the event?
I am so excited. First of all, I'm grateful to be inducted into their hip-hop archives, but this is such a big milestone for the culture. Hip-hop was considered a fad. They didn't think it would last. Here we are 51 years later, and hip-hop is everywhere, especially in prestigious universities like Rice, so I'm so happy.
When you got the call about it, what was your initial reaction? What did they tell you about what this means, what they're doing with you?
Well, when I got the call, I was shocked because they told me that I would be the first woman that would be inducted. And I just took it all in for a moment and just thought about how grateful I am to see a genre of music that I fell in love with in 1979 and to see us come this far. You know, I've taught hip hop at Loyola, and so just seeing everything come full circle, and then they said, like, we're gonna induct you, and I'm like, me? Are you serious? It was awesome. Just that call and the moment and every day leading up to it, you know, I'm like, wow, hip hop, we made it.
and you talk about making it, you're the first for this, but also first for obviously No Limit, the first lady of hip hop for them. So you have had a lot of firsts. Can you talk to us about how it's just full circle, starting with the first with that label, First Lady, and now this? I mean, it's just full circle, I can imagine.
Yeah, well, honestly, I kind of had that title of First Lady of New Orleans being one of, you know, I celebrated 40 years in hip hop in New Orleans. So a few years before I met Master P, I had a hit record. And so then meeting him and listening to his plan for the label, and I wanted to be a part of that and helping him to build it and to bring artists. And we struggled, and then we became the #1 independent label in the country. So that was a big thing for me, like really big. And now here I am at Rice, you know, the little girl from the 7th Ward.
Kind of being an example to those, right? Just going for your dreams and showing that you deserve to be here, one of the best lyricists ever. But can we talk a little bit about, you know, what this means, what you hope this means for others? You know, students will be able to learn about you too. You mentioned you teach it. So the tie there, essentially.
Well, I want, especially up and coming women who are writing, I want them to understand that the sky is the limit when it comes to hip hop. And if you are serious about it, you will find yourself on the big stages, you know, like we see in Megan. You'll be in places that you never thought you could get in, and it's based off your talent and your integrity. So one of the things I like to push mainly with ladies in hip hop, your character is your calling card. And I jumped in the game at 14, and now we're coming full circle for me, 55. I'm still touring. this is a career, this is a business. So I try to stress that with ladies while encouraging them to never put that pen down. Say what you want and own it.
Yeah, creative juices, allow
That's
that
right.
to flow.
Allow it to flow.
So for tonight, did you get a breakdown on what the rundown will be? What do you expect will happen in terms of when you get there? And I'm sure you're hoping there's a nice crowd. A lot of people are excited to see you, but what can you expect for tonight?
We're gonna have a real conversation, a Q&A, talk about my journey, my struggles, my accomplishments, and really just keep it real with the people and bond with them and talk about hip hop and celebrate this moment and celebrate Rice.
Yeah, and I just think it's so amazing that they went out of their way to make sure that you know that you contributed to hip hop in such an amazing way. Does that make you feel, listen, even though it's been a minute, I've been doing this for a long time, now the younger generation can get to know you and what you've contributed. Does that make you feel special that you were thought of in that way?
Yes, yes. It made me feel like the mama. I'm so grateful. I am honored. And I just want to connect with the younger hip hop artists or people aspiring to just be a part of the culture. So I hope they come out tonight and we chop it up and we celebrate hip hop. Hip hop is 51 years old. Let us celebrate. And, you know, I'm just looking forward to a real conversation and connecting. I believe in that connection of energy through people, and it has gotten me 34 years professionally, 40 years in the game has gotten me thus far. And I want them to know that you can still sell out arenas in your 50s, and you will see generations, grandmothers, mothers, and younger people. People come to my concerts and they're like, I named her Mia. You know, that's like, whoa. So tonight, I just want us to connect, vibe, celebrate the moment, celebrate the culture, because hip hop is everything. It's everywhere. It's in everything now. It's just not about music. It's food, it's fashion, it's real estate. So it's your nightlife, it's your day life.
It's blown up. It's a brand.
It's blown up. It's a whole brand.
Yeah. Speaking of food, I mean, cookbook.
Yes.
Like, you're a woman of many talents. Can you talk to us about dabbling into that side of things for people who don't know that that's also what you're into too?
You know, I got in the kitchen in 1975, so I knew my way around the kitchen before I knew my way with the pen and the pad. But, you know, your kitchen is the heartbeat of the home. Food connects so many people. My cookbook is about my time with my grandmother. It's a memoir cookbook, so it's recipes and tea, hot tea. And, you know, I started a cooking squad called Team Whip Them Pots, and it's just to inspire people to cook. So I tell you, when you cook a meal, hashtag it, Team Whip Them Pots, and showcase it. Get in the kitchen with your kids, let them help you cook, and you can find out their business. What's going on at school? Who you mad at? Who mad at you?
That's
got a crush on anybody? Well, you got them cutting up the stuff, sauteing. So yeah, food and family and music. I mean, that's a way of life for me.
All connected there.
All connected.
Just flows through all the things you do in your life, which is great. Well, congratulations. We are so proud of you. You mentioned Houston is we want to give a little Houston shout out. You mentioned Houston is your second home. So how often do you come here? What is your time like when you come to Houston and talk to fans here too?
So maybe it's like once a month, sometimes a couple of times a month. I have a lot of friends here, a lot of family here. I've been coming to Houston as a professional since '92, but I've been coming to Houston as a little girl all my life because I've always had family here.
That's awesome. There's the connection there, the Houston tie. You mentioned tonight you're going to talk about music, talk about cooking, but also a little bit of your struggles. You know, you were able to overcome so much, a lot of grief, back to back almost, with a lot of close family members, father, mother, grandmother, the grandmother who you have your inspiration for the cookbook. You know, that's a lot on somebody, and I can't imagine what you went through. Can you talk to us about how you use that grief and that pain really to push through, to continue on in other ways too, and how that will inspire others to not give up and just kind of push through those struggles as well?
You know, when everything was happening, even when my grandmother passed, she would say this saying to us all the time, and it was, all women know how to do is do. And so through my trials, I would hear her voice, and it helped me to push through. And also, she would always tell us things like, you think you got it bad. It's somebody's story you haven't even heard. And so through that, I don't wear it all on my sleeve, and I don't look for woe's me. I don't look to be the perpetual victim. You know, it's just like things happen, and especially when it comes to death. Now, we may not know our day-to-day, but we know that death is a part of the life process. And so I just try to stick with the facts and take my moments as often as I need to. Sometimes I have to cry a river, and sometimes, you know, I wear a smile, but just embracing everything that happened to me as a human being. I allow all the emotions to do what they need to do, and that keeps me focused, and it keeps me mentally healthy. You know, instead of trying to just put up walls or block things out or constantly talk about it in a way to keep me sad, I just let things happen naturally.
It's great advice, especially for folks who are dealing with grief and other struggles. So
yeah, one day at a time. It don't get easier, but we get stronger.
That's good to know.
Yeah, that's true.
So when it comes to your grandmother and the recipes and just that time in the kitchen, do you have a top 3 favorite meals you cooked with her that you just really love and want to share with others?
So this is what happened when we were younger. You know, we had to butter toast and things like that. She was more or less standing over us, watching what we did. So for instance, we had chicken therapy, and you going through something maybe in your relationship, we would cut up chickens. So I learned how to cut a whole chicken really well. Yes. She would say, you know, cut that bird before you cut that jive bird. So I can cook chicken 100 ways.
100 ways?
I can cook chicken 100 ways.
That's in the cookbook?
Well, not all 100 recipes,
Okay.
but my grandmother definitely says it. Like, listen, you need to know how to cook chicken 100 ways, because at one time, chicken was very inexpensive, and so you had to be creative with it so you could serve it multiple times during the week, during the month, during the year. So I love cooking chicken various ways. One of the things she taught me while she was sick, actually in her transitioning process, was to make gumbo, and it was the roux. I perfected making roux so much that I have my own brand. It's called my Gumbo Secret, Mama Mia's Gumbo Secret. But she made me perfect the roux. I had to make this roux and then put it on a spoon and take it to her, and she would look. If it was a black speck in it, you had to start all over. So I perfected making a roux. I make a mean gumbo, a mean etouffee from her.
She cracked the whip on that.
and a serious butter tender steak. I'm gangster with a steak.
Okay, I'm getting hungry now. We're getting close to lunch. That sounds awesome.
And I owe that to my mom. Now, a lot of my seafood dishes I owe to my mom because she didn't eat meat.
Yeah. Those are some good ones that people can look. I would imagine some of them in the cookbook, so that's cool.
Yes.
Also, one of my last questions, the nickname Mother of Southern Hip Hop, where did that come from? Was there a specific breakout song where people were like, this is her?
Well, so my nickname became Mama in '84. My friend said that I thought I was their mom. The Mother of Southern Hip Hop was given to me from a writer at Vibe magazine when he went over everything that I had done from the beginning to the present time. And he was like, you have this motherly vibe. I feel like I'm sitting with a mom. And he told me that people said that about me, my colleagues, you know, in the business. And so he was like, do you know you are the mother of Southern hip hop? I said, maybe gangster rap. He said, no, Southern hip hop. And so, thank you. I own it.
That's where you were dubbed that. That's awesome to hear that story. I think that's the first time I've heard that.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
Is there a favorite song you have that you've written that you're really proud of?
So one of the pieces that I'm really proud of is not actually a song. It's a poem, Hoodlum Poetry, on Unladylike. before I became a hip hop artist, I did write poems. Me and my mom would trade them back and forth. But hoodlum poetry is really deep, and all of my fans, they loved it, be it dance, be it whatever. So I love hoodlum poetry, but I like all my music. I think I'm serious with this pen.
I love that. So poetry essentially started that.
Yes.
Are there certain artists, or either an artist now or before that, and has inspired you?
So early in my career, I am seriously inspired by Roxanne Shante. Like, seriously, I absolutely love Shante. I was also inspired by Latifah and Light and Yo-Yo. They are my friends, my sisters now. But now, in the new era, I love a young lady named 3D Nati, and I also love Megan Thee Stallion.
Ooh, H-Town.
Yeah, Megan is a real serious writer. Megan, she can spit.
Yeah.
So, you know, I'm tuned into a lot of the ladies. I encourage them to just keep doing what they're doing. I don't scold anybody too much on lyrics, because I do know that in time, you know, when you grow, you start writing different and thinking different. My 55-year-old self does not write like my 25-year-old self. So I give all the ladies grace and room to grow.
Speaking of Megan, actually, I actually think she resembles you a little. I don't know if you've got that before, but that was something I noticed.
When they did the WAP video and they had the updos that I wore, everybody was tagging me like, wait, Megan kind of looks like you on there. And I think she's so pretty, so that's a compliment.
That is awesome. So in terms of what keeps you going now, where do you get your inspiration from now? And can you share, you know, anything new that you're working on?
Well, life gives me my inspiration. That's the way I've always written, you know, just from things that was happening with me or other people, things that I saw. But right now I'm merging music and food. I'm working on a cooking show, That's Good Mama Mia, and also like this vlog cookbook where I'm going to be cooking, where you can see it, but also introducing a soundtrack. So when I tell you after these 2 songs play, you can get that out the oven, that's how it's gonna go down.
You're literally gonna be able to do that.
That's right.
That is so awesome. So that's something that people can look out for.
Yes.
Where can they follow you and stay up to date with what you're working on?
So I am Mia X on Facebook, the Mama Mia X on Instagram, Mia X on TikTok. I'm still learning TikTok, y'all. I'm from the beeper payphone era. And then I have my website, teamwhipthempots.com, and you can get some of the things, my food products. I have a low sodium seasoning, rice dishes, gumbo. So
a little bit of everything for everyone.
That's right.
Yeah. Well, congratulations again. I know you're so excited, and what an honor. You deserve it.
Thank you so much.
So Mia, thank you for joining us. Again, you are watching KHOU 11 Plus.